Hello, this is Sonia here from Sam and Sonia's Garden. Welcome to our little space, our little slice of paradise here in Mississippi Zone A on June 26, 2025. We are up potting our last peppers for the season. You were here with me. You can go back and look at the video when we planted these peppers from seed. This is the sweet apple pepper that we planted on June 17th. And we've got the Blot pepper that we planted on that same date. So these have gotten pretty big. I've pinched the tops out of them. And I'm just gonna take you along as I up pot these. It's time for them to go out into the side garden in their planters like I did the others. So these are my planters. I go to my local grocery store where they decorate cakes and things like that. And these are their like frosting buckets and things. And I just take this drill and I drill holes in it. So I'm gonna show you what my whole situation is like. I'm gonna give you an up close so you can see it. First of all, I put holes in the bottom. So you see the bottom, and I do that because I want the worms to have access to my buckets. And I also put the holes in the sides. I do that because sometimes in the summer it gets so hot it's hard to keep these buckets watered. And I'll sit the whole bucket in a little kiddie pool of water. And I want the water to be able to drain, to come out the sides if it gets too much. And I'll show you what else I do while these holes are so high, the reason that I want it draining. But I don't know if you want to see me drill a hole, but I'm gonna do the last two holes in this planter and let you see the process. So Sam keeps good tools for us, and he actually for himself. And he allows me to use them. So he's taught me how to use these tools pretty well. So there's one hole, and I've got the largest drill bit that we have for this drill. What size it is, I don't know. But you saw the holes. So that can give you an idea of, the size of this drill bit. I really don't know. Okay, so I'm going to put that to the side. I don't want any plastic in my planter with my food, so I'm just going to dump that to the side. Alrighty, so what I do next is I take this bucket and up to this hole, the side holes, I'll put rocks in here to give me some drainage. So I'm going to do that for both of these, and I think you'll be able to see it on camera. I've got my rocks right here. Maybe you can see that. Hopefully you can. Yeah, you can see it. So this is really heavy. So I'm just going to tip it over the side. Excuse the noise. And I don't know if you can see, I went up right up to this hole on the side. This is kind of heavy to hold, but I went right up to that hole. And I'm going to do that with the other bucket as well. Okay, so I've got both of them filled to that hole. And I hope you can see, like there's a hole right here. You see those holes right there? I don't know if you can see it, but that's where they are. Okay, so excuse me for walking across the camera. I'm gonna take this back over here and show you my next step. Now, these were on clearance at the dollar store a couple of years ago, and I bought a bunch of them, had no idea what I would do with them. I really don't like them in my gardens. Don't like them in my flower beds. But what I decided was to keep the soil separate from these rocks. I just kind of cover that up like that, and that gives me the perfect situation. So now I'm going to set this to the side, and I'm going to take some potting soil and mix it with some of the compost that I have left. My son picked this up for me to use for this purpose. Now, I don't use any particular potting soil because I'm really depending on the worms getting in there and giving me some vermicompost. And they do. And I have a little of this. This is some compost, some barnyard compost from a local, I don't know if it's a dairy farm or just a beef farm, but they are very, they do the regenerative farming thing, and they shared some of this with me. So I'm just going to put some in here. And I've just got some old potting soil here. I'll put some of that in here as well. Put that to the side. Don't want to lose my tool. And I'm only filling one at a time because this soil is heavy. And to try and mix this stuff enough for 2 of those planters at the same time, that's a lot. That's a lot. And I'll tell you, I know we ladies can do a lot of things because we're so modern and blah, 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 blah. And it's wonderful because we have opportunities that we've never had before. I love that. I'm so thankful for it. But at the same time, I have to remind myself that I am in fact a lady. And I should not, for any reason, be lifting things extremely heavy. My body's told me. People have told me. And sometimes we have to learn the hard way. And I did learn the hard way. I am still, well, I'm going to say I'm recovered from a shoulder injury from doing things that were too heavy for me. But the symptoms of that shoulder injury linger with me. So I have to be really careful about lifting and those type of things. So I'm going to wet the soil down a little bit. So ladies, it doesn't diminish your ladyhood or your femininity to ask for help or to figure out ways to do things that a man wouldn't do just to preserve the integrity of your health, because it's not worth it to show off or to bulldoze through things and injure yourself when it just was not necessary. It might slow us down a little bit to do it in a way that doesn't harm us, but what's a few minutes out of the time of your entire life ahead of you? The longevity, the quality of your life, all of it, Let's not sacrifice that. I want to be 96 years old out here with Sam, going strong one day, still working in our gardens and biking and doing all those things we love to do outdoors with ease. No health issues, no need for medications. That's my dream. And I think God will bless me with that as I take care of what he's given me. And that what he's given me is this temple. And I'm doing my best to preserve it. Okay, so now, do you see how I'm trying to put this in here so that the sides of this cloth remain raised? There we go. Like I said, I want the sides of the cloth to remain raised. And the reason for this is when I come back next year to repot something else in this container, I will be able to basically dip most of this soil out of here and then lift this cloth out without it getting entangled in my rocks and me losing soil. So that just keeps it off my rocks and helps me to be able to more efficiently use this space. All right, so the first one in is my sweet apple pepper. Now, what I think I'm gonna do is, because this one, I'll show you, there's only one plant in here, and you can see a few roots. Maybe you can see a few roots. Let me put this other one down. You can see a few roots coming in down at the bottom. Can you see those roots? And it looks really healthy, really strong. Some kind of little bug, I don't know the name of it. It's probably having a feast on these. I don't see anything under the leaves. But if I pot it up, give it some nutrition, it can, you know, strengthen itself and ward that off. Now, these two, there's two in this one, but they're still sweet apple peppers. I am trying to figure out if I'm going to break them up and put them into the garden, or just cut the little one out and throw it away, of course, and plant the tall one into the garden. Because those peppers that I planted out into the garden very late into the season, they're actually producing. They didn't get much bigger, and maybe if this video doesn't go too long, I'll take you out and show you. But yeah, they're doing great. So okay, I've got plenty of barnyard fertilizer in here, and this particular potting soil does have a good bit of worm castings and things in it already. So I'm just going to go with that and not worry about any more fertilizer for now. Let it get its rooting before I try and fertilize it. And look at there. I don't know if you can see that, but the roots aren't bound. It looks good. So I'm just going to stick it down in here. Press it in. And give it some more soil. And I am coming up a little bit higher, maybe to that area where I saw those the roots sticking out on the side. And I think I did this just like right on the money as far as how much soil I have in this. I measured up for this particular container. So I did good. Did good. All right, the next thing I'm going to do, which you probably don't even need to see this part, but I'm going to show you. Just for transparency, I'm going to show you. All right, it's getting dirty over here. I'm telling you that. Okay, so the next thing I'm going to do, I'm not going to water them until I get Sam to take them out to the garden, because they're going to get heavy out there. They're going to get heavy once I put the water in. So I'm going to take this label off, and hopefully it still has enough stick on it, so I'll remember exactly which pepper I put in here. There we go. So there's that. One pepper potted. Yay! Okay, on to, so that was the sweet apple. So now I'm going to do the blot. Same thing, same scenario. I've got one blot that's in the cup by itself, and then I've got a double pair of blot peppers that I'm going to do the same thing, put one of them out in the garden, or both of them. I might split them. I don't know yet. I'm still trying to figure that out. I don't know what the best thing to do is, so I would ask you all to give me some help on figuring that out, but by the time you see this video, these babies will be in the ground, because I am not tarrying. Okay, so I'm going to load this up on the wagon because it's not way too heavy. Notice I lift with my legs, and I probably shouldn't have leaned over to put that in, but I did. Sorry. Bad example. Okay. Pepper number 2, same thing. Okay. So I'm going to sit this to the side, bring this up, add the potting soil of your choice. And this is 8 quarts, if you were wondering. This is 8 quarts of potting soil. My planters are more than 8 quarts, but because I filled it fill the bottom with the compost, then that takes up some of the quarts. I don't know how many, but you saw how much I put in there. Okay, so barnyard fertilizer goes in. Close that up. And now some of this old potting soil. Don't need much of either, because like I said, this is supposedly some good potting soil already. And then again, I'm depending on the worms to come in and do what they do in here, and kind of up the fertilization of these pots. Now, when I potted the peppers, well, when I reused the pots from last year's peppers, they were full of beautiful earthworms. So my method works, and those peppers, they produce so well. We're still eating peppers that I dehydrated last year. This year, I'm just trying some different kinds, but I am sticking with my old faithful cayenne. Because cayenne is also medicinal, so I feel like, you know, I don't feel like I can ever have too much of the cayenne. So, and then I can always share it. My family has really, my family is really on board with natural health. At least my extended family is. My kids are getting there. They are, my daughter told me I raised them as crunchy kids, whatever that's supposed to mean. But anyways, they're used to eating healthy, so they really don't have a big learning curve, and I'm thankful for that. They love good, healthy food. Wonderful thing, isn't it? All right, so let us add a little water, and this is rainwater. It rained a little yesterday, well, last night and yesterday. It rained a little yesterday. It's still wet here today, just a little wet. Let's mix that water in. But when it rains here, I try to collect as much rainwater as I can for things like this. I prefer to water my garden with it, but who wants to carry that much water? But I do water my potted things with it once they dry out. And then when I run out of rainwater, I just go to my municipal water. I guess it doesn't hurt anything. My plants do give me produce. So since they give me produce, I feel like they're okay. Maybe it would be better if I had you know, the well water, but I don't. So I'm using what I have. I'm asking God to give the increase, and He has. He has. I don't know if you saw the garden tour for my fall. No, for my spring garden. Just the summer tour of that spring garden. It's beginning to wind down a lot, but let me tell you. And I'm kind of bracing this cloth with my arm here, holding it. Oops, and I'm spilling. So that it doesn't go crashing with the first couple of scoops. But then I'm gonna let it go and let it fall in. And the sides, it kind of falls in pretty evenly so that the sides of the cloth still are sticking up the way I want them. And all that isn't sticking up, I can fix it because I've got it cut big enough that when it falls, it's got room on either side to fall in there the way I need it. All right, we've almost got the second pot filled. Alrighty. I don't know why this brings me so much joy, but I'm so thankful that I found gardening because it does. It's my hobby, and it's my little, I don't know, refuge. It's a place where I can go and do my thing, and I feel rewarded, I feel accomplished, and it's a nice stress reliever, you know. A lot of times I'll say I don't even think I'm stressed, but you'd be surprised at the things that are rolling through your mind. They're just rolling through there. You're not thinking about it. You're not trying to think about it, but it's like hanging around in the back of your mind. Well, this right here helps me with that. So I'm going to put my sticker on the outside, and that one didn't adhere that well, but anyway, it's okay. All right, almost done, y'all. Almost done. So this is the Blot pepper, and again, I pinched the top out of it probably yesterday, and I'm going to take these bottom leaves also. And I can see little roots at the bottom of this cup too, so it's time for this to be up potted. And I think this one has a few more roots than the other one did. Looking really, really good. Push those leaves down in there. Just keep filling it. And I'm not coming up very high on this stem. I want the same natural stem to be here. At least pretty much, you know. All right, press it down. This looks good. This looks so good. Peppers are slow producers, so we have time. I don't think our first frost date for Zone 8A, Mississippi, is probably until like November or something. So we've got time to get peppers. All right, so take this out of the way. I'm done with her. Save those little cups. I use these cups over and over again. This is probably my second year using these same cups. As long as they're still in good shape, I don't throw them away till they start cracking open. And even when they start cracking on the side, sometimes they're still usable. So I am trying to make my money work for me. Okay, so one thing I didn't show you, and I'm going to show you with this one, is I use leaves that a neighbor collects from their yard. I don't sweep up my leaves. I just let my leaves feed the ground where they fall. But my neighbor does not like all those leaves in their yard, and they don't spray their yard or anything like that. So she gives me she allows me to take those bags of leaves. She really just offers them to the community, but I'm like, just let me know when they're ready, and you don't even have to worry about putting up a post or trying to figure out who's gonna come and get them. I will come and get them. So Sam and I will usually go and get the leaves, and these just keep the soil moist, help reduce evaporation. And my plants seem to like it. The only thing is, I did find an army worm in here in one of my peppers one time, so that happens. But anyways, this is how I pot my pepper plants, and I have been giving my peppers homemade fertilizer probably every 10 days. So on the 10th, on the 20th, and on the 30th, I will give them homemade fertilizer and rainwater, if I have rainwater. Usually I do with that length of time. So far this summer, so it is getting further into the summer, so the rainwater is not coming as quickly as it usually does. And that's okay. That is absolutely okay. But this is my pepper. Again, this is the Blot pepper. And over there, you can't see it, it's off screen, is our sweet apple. We're gonna get those situated and put out into the garden, and I'll show you where I'm gonna put it. But right now I'm gonna grab you and take you over to my pepper bed and show you, well, not my pepper bed, but my pepper pot area, and show you what's going on over there and what our harvests have been like, because I have harvested a lot of peppers. So let me grab this and put it on the wagon. I'm going to take these rocks off the wagon. Okay, got to use my bat. Okay, I'm going to put this on the wagon. And I'm going to grab some of these leaves. And I'm going to put that around the other pepper. I'm off camera talking to you. Sorry about that, but it's too much work to move this pepper back, and I forgot to do it while we were on camera. So I think we'll all survive with me talking off camera for a hot minute. Just a hot minute. And I'm going to take my water, load my water up so that when Sam takes that over to the peppers, it will, when he takes that over to the peppers, I'll be able to go ahead and water them in real good. Probably will need some more water because that's not a lot of water for that big old, huge pot of peppers. I'll just water it really slowly, and hopefully that water will soak into the soil and not out of the bucket. Okay, so let's go on over to the pepper area and I'll show you what's happening over there. All right, so you can see here, the butterfly garden's doing really well. I mean, the hummingbird flowers, yeah. And then I've got some volunteers out there. Man, those peas are really doing their thing. All right, so let's go on over and see what's happening here. There's the rest of the hummingbird garden. Now, keep in mind, I harvested peppers yesterday. So you may not see that many peppers out here, but they are here. So I'm gonna just bring you in. I think it'll be better if I just take you off the stand and show you, because it's just easier that way. So let's do it. All right, you're off the stand. You're willy-nilly-ing here with me. Now you see my little canopy? Sam put this up for me, but we just got our shade cloth, so we're gonna be putting up shade cloth and taking these sheer curtains down. But they've been working, they've been protecting us from the harsh sunlight. Here are my Hungarian wax, and you see they are Cadillacing. Look at there. And again, I just harvested them yesterday, so there's not a lot on here, but you can see the plants are healthy. They're steady putting on blooms. All right. And this is my, what is this called? Creosella. Now, the Creosella, my George, these babies, I'm telling you, these Creosellas produce like nobody's business. You'll see all the little flowers. Tons of flowers in here. Tons of flowers. And the peppers aren't playing either. The peppers are not playing around. Aren't they beautiful? Just hanging everywhere. Now that's the Creosella. And there's one back there that's ripe. Can you see that little yellow, that orange one? That's ripe. And I'm trying to make sure I save a couple. Just let them ripen on the vine. You can see that one back there. If you can see that. On the vine, so that I'll gather these seeds. I still have plenty of seeds from last year, but I do like to make sure I have tons of seeds. Now, here is my Lesha peppers. Now, I planted these later than the others, and I don't know what happened to this one, why it looks like that, but I'm going to get that out of there. But you'll see there's plenty more coming in here. Look at that one. Isn't she beautiful? Isn't she beautiful? Look at that. Just sitting up there like It's the queen of the show. But she is, and she should sit that way. All right, so let's come on in here. There's more. Now, I don't know if these sitting on the front struggle because they're getting more sun here. And you see a bloom that's fallen. Yep, if I can get it. There it is. But it's steady putting on more peppers. You'll see it's steady putting on more peppers. So she's doing it pretty good, pretty well. So let's come on around and see the other Lesha pepper. And it appears that something might be trying to eat it. So this one's beginning to blush. You see those in there? They're beginning to blush. And they look great in here. And my cayenne are doing really well. It seems like as it heats up, the cayenne do better and better. They always are showstoppers for me. You can see them in here doing their thing. Beautiful cayennes. Lovely, lovely, lovely. And here is my last set of cayenne. Don't they look good? Again, I picked these yesterday, so we had a lot that came in. Beautiful peppers, beautiful peppers, beautiful peppers. Gorgeous, gorgeous, gorgeous. Gorgeous peppers. Okay, so they look great. They look great. And again, we've got the basil planted in the center of every little grouping. I've got 3 groupings of peppers here. There's my last one, which I didn't have enough to plant out. So I'm going to put the 2 that I just potted, that you helped me pot, the Blot and Sweet Apple here with these cayenne. And we're going to get a cover over the top of them. It doesn't have a cover yet. But these, there's, like I said, a basil in the center of there. And there's a basil in the center of there. And there's Sam out there working. All right, so let me show you the other peppers. The ones that stayed in the pot way too long. And I just said I'm going to stick them out here and see what they do. And they, like I said, they didn't grow a whole lot. But they're still producing peppers. I cleared them all yesterday. I should have showed you this yesterday. But you see that we're steady getting blooms on this baby. So they are doing their best to produce and put out for me. There is one right here. And I think that's got to be a cayenne because it's so tall. I don't know if you can see that. There's a marigold right beside it. Yep. All right, so come on down. This is my Lesha. And she is struggling. But the rest of these, this is Criolla Sella. She's looking great. Criolla Sella's looking great. And this is Criolla Sella. And there's a little pepper. She's looking great. So they're doing well. Our experiment with our callaloo, we kind of gave up and just started coming out, shaking the bugs every morning because we're out here walking every morning anyway. You see, there's a bug right there. But I tell you what, the army worms are the worst on the callaloo. You see, I don't know if that's army worms or those little bugs I just showed you. But anyway, I'm not worried about them. We're going to get what we get. I have put away 4 quarts of callaloo already, and I'm just going to keep going. And we have also been eating it. So we've got 4 quarts in the freezer in addition to that we've been eating. So I'm thankful. Thank God, yeah. So here's another. I think this might be Criolla. And that back there, I'm not sure if that's Criolla or Hungarian hot wax. It might be Hungarian wax. We'll find out when the pepper comes on. And I've picked peppers off of it, but you know what? I guess I didn't care enough to keep up with it. So every time I pick a pepper, I'll know what kind of pepper plant it is. Isn't that funny? And there's a Hungarian wax because there's a Hungarian wax pepper. So what do you know? And here's another Hungarian wax pepper. So everything's doing pretty well considering this is the end of July. There's my marigold, the beautiful bloom here. Isn't that pretty? Yep, so we're doing well. And I've got oregano down in here. You see the oregano right there. We've got all kinds of stuff in here. But anyways, this is us doing our thing, enjoying our little slice of heaven that we've been blessed with. We're trying to be good stewards of what God's given us, and we're just sharing our process. So I hope you've enjoyed. Today was all about peppers. So, well, it wasn't completely all about peppers, but that was the point of the video, peppers. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you learned something, or you can tell me something in the comments that might help me do better next time. But anyways, thanks for joining us. Sam and I appreciate your company. Take care, and until next time, have a blessed and wonderful day. Bye.